Welcome to the Classified Room, where America's darkest scandals are unearthed, one secret at a time. Tonight, we dive into a story that has haunted historians, psychologists, and conspiracy theorists for over a century and a half. It's not about ghosts or seances, though those play a part. It's not about politics or war, though both set the stage. This is the true, documented case of a man who described the exact time, place, and manner of his own death weeks before it happened. And when that moment came, it unfolded with chilling precision. His name was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, the man who saw his own assassination. April 1865. The Civil War is ending. General Robert E. Lee has surrendered at Appomattox. The Union is victorious, but the nation is shattered. Over 620,000 dead. Cities in ruins. A president aged beyond his 56 years. Lincoln's face, gaunt, lined, eyes sunken, bears the weight of a fractured country. He is hailed as a savior, but he carries the burden of every lost life. And in the quiet hours of the night, in the executive mansion on Pennsylvania Avenue, something begins to haunt him. Not an enemy, not a plot, but a dream. A recurring, vivid, unrelenting vision of his own death. It begins on the night of April 4th, just days after the surrender. Lincoln retires to his bedroom in the White House. The day has been long, meetings, telegrams, celebrations tempered by grief. He falls into a deep sleep, and then he dreams. In the dream, he is walking through the White House. The halls are silent, save for the faint sound of weeping. He follows it, down the grand staircase, through the cross hall, to the East Room, the largest chamber in the mansion, reserved for state occasions, receptions, and funerals. The doors creak open, and there, in the center of the room, is a catafalque, a raised platform draped in black velvet. Upon it, a coffin. Around it, soldiers in dress uniforms stand at attention, rifles reversed in mourning. Mourners in black veils weep softly. Lincoln approaches. He asks a soldier, "Who is dead in the White House?" The soldier turns, his face shadowed, and replies in a low, metallic voice, "The president. He was killed by an assassin." Lincoln wakes with a start. His heart pounds. Sweat soaks his nightshirt. The clock reads 3:17 a.m. He lights a candle, sits at his desk, and writes in his private diary, "Dreamed of my own funeral tonight, saw the East Room, heard the words, felt the chill." He tries to dismiss it. Dreams are dreams. The mind plays tricks under stress. But the image lingers. The black drapes, the soldiers, the coffin, the voice. The next morning, he tells his bodyguard, Ward Hill Lamon, a burly, loyal Illinois lawyer who has protected him since the campaign trail. Lamon listens, pale. "Mr. President," he says, "you must take this seriously. Cancel all public appearances. There are threats everywhere." Lincoln laughs, but it's hollow. "Hill," he says, "if I hid from every dream, I'd never leave this house. It was just a fancy of the mind." But Lamon is not convinced. He has seen the anonymous letters, the spy reports, the whispers of Confederate plots. And now this. That night, the dream returns. Identical. The East Room, the catafalque, the soldiers, the words. But this time, Lincoln notices something new. The mourners. One of them lifts her veil. It is his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, her face streaked with tears. She looks directly at him, "Dream, Lincoln," and whispers, "Why didn't you listen?" He wakes again, gasping. This time, he does not laugh it off. He summons Lamon at dawn. "It came again," he says. "The same. But Mary was there. She blamed me." Lamon pleads with him, "Sir, This is no ordinary dream. It is a warning. Lincoln stares out the window at the Potomac, misty in the morning light. Perhaps, he says quietly, but what can I do? A president cannot hide. The dream continues night after night. Each time a new detail emerges. On April 7th, he dreams of laughter just before the end. A theater full of people roaring at a joke. Then silence. Then a flash. Then darkness. On April 9th, he sees blood. Not much. Just a trickle from behind the left ear, staining a white collar. On April 11th, he dreams of a face. A handsome man, dark hair, piercing eyes, an actor. He recognizes him vaguely, John Wilkes Booth, the famous stage performer, a Southern sympathizer known to frequent Ford's Theater. In the dream, Booth stands in a balcony box, a derringer in his hand, a smile on his lips. Lincoln wakes and writes, "Saw the assassin, an actor, Booth, the time is near." By now, the dream has evolved. It is no longer just the East Room funeral. It is the moment before, the theater, the box, the laugh line, the shot, the fall, and always the aftermath, the East Room, the coffin, the soldiers, the words. Lincoln begins to avoid sleep. He works late into the night, reading Shakespeare, Macbeth, his favorite, full of prophecies and doom. He confides in his secretary, John Hay. "I feel marked," he says, "like a man walking to the gallows." Hay urges him to increase security. Lincoln refuses. "If it is to be," he says, "it will be." Meanwhile, across town, John Wilkes Booth is writing in his own diary. "The president will attend Ford's Theater on Good Friday," he scrawls. "I will be there. The devil must die." Booth, 26, charismatic, wealthy, and rabidly pro-Confederate, has been plotting for months. He originally planned to kidnap Lincoln and ransom him for Confederate prisoners. But with the war lost, kidnapping is no longer enough. Now it must be murder. He recruits a ragtag crew. Lewis Powell, a hulking ex-soldier. David Harold, a dim-witted pharmacist. George Atzerodt, a German carriage painter. Their plan, a triple strike. Powell to kill Secretary of State William Seward. Atzerodt to kill Vice President Andrew Johnson. Booth to kill Lincoln. All on the same night. Good Friday, a night of sacrifice. April 14th dawns. Good Friday, a day of fasting and reflection. Lincoln attends church with Mary. He prays silently, his lips moving. In his mind, the dream plays on repeat. After services, he meets with his cabinet. He is distracted, staring at the clock. At 2 p.m., he reads aloud from a humorous book by Artemus Ward, trying to lighten the mood. He laughs, but his eyes are distant. At dinner, he barely eats. Mary urges him to go to the theater that night. "You need a distraction," she says. "Our American cousin at Ford's. It will be fun." Lincoln hesitates. The dream flashes theater box shot, but he agrees. "Very well," he says. "A night out." At 8 p.m., the presidential carriage pulls up to Ford's Theater. The play has already started. The audience cheers as Lincoln enters the presidential box. Box 7, high above the stage. He settles into a rocking chair, Mary at his side. His bodyguard, William Crook, begs to accompany him inside the box. Lincoln waves him off. "Go home, William. I'll be fine." Crook leaves, uneasy. Inside the theater, Booth is already there. He knows the play by heart. He knows the exact moment in Act 3 when the audience will laugh loudest. At a line delivered by the character Asa Trenchard, "Don't know the manners of good society, eh? Well, I guess I know enough to turn you inside out, old gal. You sock-dologizing old man-trap." Booth times it perfectly. At 10:13 p.m., the laugh line hits. The theater erupts. Booth slips into the presidential box through a side door he has prepared. He carries a single-shot derringer and a dagger. Lincoln is leaning forward, laughing. Booth raises the pistol, aims behind the left ear, fires. The bullet enters the skull, lodges in the brain. Lincoln slumps forward. Mary screams. Major Henry Rathbone, a guest in the box, lunges at Booth. Booth slashes him with the dagger, then leaps to the stage, 12 feet below. He lands awkwardly, breaking his leg, but he rises, brandishes the bloody knife, and shouts, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants, the state motto of Virginia. Then he limps out a back door, mounts a waiting horse, and vanishes into the night. Chaos erupts. The theater empties in panic. Doctors rush to the box. Lincoln is unconscious, breathing raggedly. They carry him across 10th Street to the Peterson House, a boarding house opposite the theater. He is laid diagonally on a bed too short for his 6 feet 4 inches frame. Doctors probe the wound. The bullet is unreachable. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton arrives. "Now he belongs to the ages," he says. Mary collapses in the parlor, wailing. Through the night, cabinet members, generals, and friends keep vigil. Lincoln's pulse weakens. At 7:22 a.m. on April 15th, he breathes his last. The dream's aftermath begins. 3 days later, on April 19th, Lincoln's body lies in state in the East Room. Exactly as he dreamed. The pine catafalque, the black velvet drapes, the soldiers with reversed rifles, the mourners in black, Mary veiled, weeping, the words spoken over the coffin. The president, killed by an assassin. The dream was not a dream. It was a preview, a classified leak from the future. But the story doesn't end there. Booth is hunted. 12 days later, on April 26th, he is cornered in a barn in Virginia. The barn is set ablaze. Booth refuses to surrender. A Union soldier shoots him through a crack in the wall. As he dies, Booth looks at his hands and whispers, "Useless, useless." His diary is seized. In it, a final entry, "I struck for my country. God judge me." The other conspirators are captured. Powell, Harold, Atzerodt, and Mary Surratt, the boarding house owner, are hanged on July 7th. Surratt becomes the first woman executed by the federal government. The scandal ripples. Was it just Booth? Or a larger Confederate plot? British involvement? The trial is a spectacle. The nation mourns. Lincoln's funeral train travels 1,654 miles to Springfield, Illinois. Millions line the tracks. Black crepe drapes the locomotive. Flowers carpet the rails. In cities, the casket is opened for viewing. In New York, 500,000 pass by. The East Room scene repeats in every major city. The dream fulfilled again and again. But the deepest scandal is the cover-up. Ward Hill Lamont's memoir, detailing the dream, is suppressed for 20 years. Published in 1885, it is dismissed as sensationalism. A War Department file from 1865 reads, POTUS reports recurring fatal premonition. Recommend increased security. The file is redacted, sealed, buried. Why? Because a president admitting to psychic visions would undermine public confidence. In a time of war and reconstruction, stability was paramount. The dream was classified, not as fiction, but as threat. Modern science weighs in. Psychologists call it precognitive dreaming, the mind processing subconscious threats into prophetic visions. Lincoln was under extreme stress, sleep deprivation, grief over his son Willie, dead in 1862, the weight of emancipation. Temporal lobe activity spikes under such conditions. Hallucinations blur with reality. But the details, the East Room, the soldiers, the exact words, defy chance. Statistician Percy Diaconis calculates the odds. 1 in 10 million for a dream to match reality so precisely. Even if we grant coincidence for the funeral, the theater, the time, the method, how? Parapsychologists cite the CIA's Stargate project, declassified in 1995. From 1978 to 1995, the U.S. government spent $20 million studying remote viewing and precognition. Subjects Accura. Subjects accurately described future events. One file, still partially redacted, references historical precedent. AL 1865. Lincoln's case was studied, classified, never publicized. Other presidents had premonitions. James Garfield dreamed of his assassination months before. John F. Kennedy spoke of dying young. Ronald Reagan joked of surviving an attempt. But Lincoln stands alone, documented, shared, ignored, fulfilled. Mary Todd Lincoln descended into madness after the assassination. She held seances in the White House, trying to contact her husband. Mediums claimed Lincoln appeared, saying, "I tried to warn them." She was institutionalized by her son Robert in 1875. Released a year later. Died in 1882, still wearing black. The Peterson House still stands. Tourists touch the deathbed. Ford's Theater is a museum. The presidential box is preserved, untouched since that night. The Derringer is on display at the National Archives. Booth's diary is in a vault. And somewhere in a classified file, Lincoln's dream lives on. A warning, prophecy, a scandal. What if he had listened? Canceled the theater? Increased security? Would history change? The 14th Amendment, Reconstruction, civil rights, all hung in the balance. One man's dream could have altered a nation, but he didn't listen, and the bullet found its mark. In the end, the dream was not just about death. It was about legacy. Lincoln saw his funeral because he knew his work was done. Emancipation, union, freedom. He paid the price, and in seeing his end, he accepted it. The man who saw his death before it happened was not a victim of fate. He was its witness. Thank you for joining the Classified Room. This has been the true story of Abraham Lincoln's premonition. Subscribe for more unearthed scandals. Like, comment, share. What do you think? Was it a dream, a warning, or something more?